This video is brought to you by GoFiber Hair Building Fibers. Pick up your free sample and get instant hair confidence. Start your transformation today.
Hey, what is up guys, Matt here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the 6-month progress after my second hair transplant, how satisfied am I with it so far, and in the second half of the video I'm going to be sharing with you things that changed in my hair loss prevention regimen over the last 1 or 2 months. Some of you guys have already noticed something, but most of you probably didn't. That's why if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned until the very end of this video. And now let's start. As a reminder, I got 982 grafts implanted on this area with a hair per graft average of 1.4, which is considered to be a relatively low hair per graft average. It's simply because I already got one hair transplant of 3,500 grafts on the front, and most of the larger sized units like triple grafts and quadruples got already extracted during the first hair transplant, and they were put on the front. That's why the front is relatively dense. And what I wanted to do now is to kind of reconnect the dense looking front with the diffusely thinning mid-scalp and crown, which is still fairly good, like dense enough for me, but I wanted to kind of reconnect it, and I wanted to avoid having this bald patchy spot in between. That's what I wanted. So let's take a look at the difference after 6 months, and I'd like to start with the video on the daylight. I'm fairly happy with how the density is and how I am able to style it. The only area which I felt that would have grown better by the 6-month mark was this spot here. Considering relatively low hair per graft average of 1.4, we should not wonder that the density is not like super high in there, okay? This is the only area where I'd like to have some more grafting done in the future. I'm not pushing it. I'm fairly satisfied with how it looks like now, and I can style it, no problem. But probably I will have some more grafts implanted in this area in the future, just to kind of add more coverage to it. But for now I'm happy. Just compare the before and after difference on the photo A and photo B. You just clearly see that the coverage just looks much better now, and the whole mid-scalp looks as a whole right now. It doesn't have any overly patchy areas that I would wish to have covered with hair. So that's something I'm really happy about, and I really like how it turned out. When it comes to my donor area, I'm fairly happy with how the donor looks like. I cut it yesterday on 3 millimeters until here, so it looks pretty fine as well. Before I cut my hair yesterday, I let the hair grow on the donor, like on purpose, just for you to see how the coverage is going to look like. And to me, surprisingly, it looked fairly nice, especially the back. It looked pretty dense. The sides, you can spot slight over harvesting, but the bag especially looked fairly good to me, despite having already 2 hair transplants. Alright guys, second part of the video, hair loss prevention and changes in my current hair loss prevention regimen. Let's start with the shampoo. As always, I washed my hair before shooting this video with the black shampoo from Hair Restoration Laboratories, which I'm using more than the orange one, to be honest, because it has ketoconazole in it, and that's all I need. It has a whole bunch of natural ingredients which are there in very small quantities. That's why I prefer to use it more frequently, and also the ketoconazole is only 1%, so I think you can use it also more than like twice a week as like the Nizoral one, which tends to really dry out your scalp if you overuse it. That's why I use the black one also like 3-4 times a week, and since I use shampoo 3-4 times a week, there is no place for the orange one, maybe once a week. Anyways, I've been using this shampoo since August 2018, and I became affiliated with this product in September or October 2018. So first I tried it out, I liked it, I still like it, and that's why I became affiliated with the product. So if you want to get it. It has a great price quality ratio. It's like 20 something dollars per bottle, which is like half a liter, and it's gonna last you a long time. There is a discount code in the description below and link where you can order the shampoo. They're shipping worldwide. Highly recommend it, okay? When it comes down to convenience and ability to block DHT, inhibit the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, it's gonna be oral 5-AR inhibitor. Like finasteride, you don't need to apply anything, you don't need to wash your scalp or cleanse it before. Now, you just take the pill and it's gonna do the work. I switched to oral finasteride 2 months ago from my topical finasteride. I'm gonna tell you why. I did it with the Proscar version of finasteride. It's nothing else than finasteride, but it's coming in 5 milligram tablet form. That's why I need to cut it and split it in smaller pieces. There's also the video where I was explaining how I'm doing that to minimize the side effects and to take like less than 1 milligram equivalent of finasteride per day to still enjoy the nice efficacy from it and minimize the side effects. So I'm taking it every day. My argument for why I'm taking it every day is that finasteride has been shown to have shorter half-life, much shorter than dutasteride. It's only like 6 to 8 hours on average. That's why I prefer taking less of it, but rather more regularly, like every day, because that way it's gonna be blocking DHT more or less continuously, as opposed to if I would be taking it like every other day. You know what I mean? Anyways, why I switched from the topical finasteride onto oral one, simply because it was getting a little bit expensive. I was paying 50 euro per monthly supply. I mean, it helped. It stopped my hair loss. It stopped the shedding, like clearly during the first weeks of using that already. I was using it once a day. But again, you need a prescription for it, which wasn't a problem for me. But again, the price and long term, I was looking at it long term. I was like, nah, I will probably just switch to the oral finasteride and just microdose it and take it regularly, and rather use like topical dutasteride, because topical dutasteride would be much better to use it as a topical AR inhibitor than finasteride, because it also blocks type 1 and type 2 5-alpha reductase. Finasteride only does it with type 2 5-alpha reductase. If I could do it once again, I would probably start with topical dutasteride instead of topical finasteride, because it has been shown that we have also type 1 5-alpha reductase on our scalp, not just type 2. That's why for some guys who don't get like efficacy from topical finasteride, they switch to topical dutasteride, and it may work much better. So that's also something that I plan on doing in the future. So far I'm staying with oral finasteride. Clearly I noticed less hair loss, because that's what it does. It slows down the hair loss. It doesn't really magically regrow your hair or make it like amazingly thicker. That's not how you should think about finasteride. For some guys it may slow it down much better than by other guys. When it comes down to side effects, so far I don't have any side effects from finasteride, but I'm still evaluating, monitoring myself. I did blood tests prior to starting with topical finasteride and another blood tests before starting the oral finasteride, so I can talk about that in my next videos. I'm preparing for you a third month update on my oral finasteride, still collecting some information about myself, still observing myself, how I'm responding to it, you know, how it affects me emotionally, psychologically, sexually, and so on. So I'm gonna provide you like more insightful video on this medication this month. Actually, by the end of May, it's gonna be 3 months on it. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about that. All right, guys, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me something, make sure you comment below, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.